And we're going to start it off with Michael Kammes here. This is the first time I think I've ever done Louper, right? And because it's a new
Louper. It's a few years old. It's the first time we've shown Louper. Right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, I want to tell you a little bit about Michael Kammes because I know a lot of you are new to this, and you should talk to him, especially after the demonstration. Talk to him during the break because you can learn a lot from this guy. He is a keynote speaker on trends and products and workflows of production and post-technology, and he's got this really, really cool podcast called 5 Things, and it draws an audience of industry insiders from around the world. So that's 5thingsseries.com, or if you want to try to remember that or write it down. So 5thingsseries.com, or just Google Michael Kammes and it'll come up. And he has designed and has built thousands of productions and post-production system workflows and facility integrations during his 20 years as a tech advisor in the media and entertainment business. You just don't get any better than this guy. And here to show you Louper, please welcome Michael Kammes.
Thank you. As Michael said earlier, this will be the 24th year of LACPUG. LACPUG and then LACPUG. So that's huge. I was thinking about some of the drive over, and in the past 17 years, you've let me come here and talk about technology once or twice a year. In recent history, I've come here, I've talked to you about AI, I've shown you new AI tools. I remember 5 years ago coming here and showing you how to edit in the cloud. And before that, I showed you a product that doesn't exist anymore, Adobe Anywhere. Who remembers Adobe Anywhere, right? Adobe's first attempt at remote editing, right? And Michael has always been very gracious about letting me show technology. And I think part of that is because he knows that I'm not a shill. Right, I'm here because I love technology. And anyone that knows me, Dave, you can attest to this, is that I like the technology, right? If it's ugly, I don't care. Does it function? Yes, I love it. And I love sharing that. I love technical education. And so I came across Louper, I think 4 years ago. I kind of, of my 60 tabs open in Chrome, I had that pinned because I'm like, this is good because they were doing something that we all needed during the pandemic. But it also was just stupid simple to use and was totally affordable, right? So Louper is what I'll be showing you tonight, and Louper is live collaboration for post-production. What I want to clarify is that there's 2 main types of collaboration, right? There's live, which is what we're doing now, right? You can see when I'm happy, you can see when I'm sad, I can see when someone's yawning, I can see when someone's checking their phone, I see you. And because of that, I can react. Okay, you're falling asleep, I need to talk louder, I need to make a big noise. Oh, you're kind of not understanding my answer? Okay, let me try and explain it different, right? There's that way of having that real-time communication. Those who have ever been in an edit suite that have someone that you have a client sitting behind you, right? You get that rapport where if they say something, you kind of get what they mean, right? Even if it's not said completely coherently. And then we have the on-demand, right? Which is what most of us do, right? Which is, I'm going to upload this to Frame, I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and then if you could take a look and give me some notes, I'd appreciate it. And that works, right? If someone is working different schedules, someone's overseas, right? Time zone differences. Maybe you just have kids and family, I get that. But there's something lost, right? Especially when we get into cultural differences, especially when we get into different languages, when one word or one phrase may not mean the same thing. So there's something inherently powerful about real-time live collaboration, and the folks at Louper realize that. So what Louper does, and one of the cardinal rules, I'm going to let you behind the scenes on something. Who here works in marketing? Yeah? Okay. One of the things you never do in marketing is mention your competition, right? That's something you don't do because, someone may not have heard of them and, they're going to go use them, or they'll start doing a comparison. That's bullshit. You all know what Zoom is, right? Louper is Zoom for post. Zoom was never meant for post-production. Zoom was meant for talking heads, right? Does anyone know the 80-20 rule? In video? Yeah? The 80-20 rule is a talking head is 20% movement, 80% static. That's what video conferencing is great for. That's what Zoom and Teams and BlueJeans and Chrome, Google Meet, that's what those are great for. But only some of us do talking heads. A lot of us have fast motion or action or panning or swish pans, right? And that takes up a lot of bandwidth because that's more pixels. You need those higher frame rates, right? So Zoom is not good for that. So Louper works with your major creative applications, right? So I'll ask this question a couple times tonight just to keep you all awake. Who here uses Premiere? Okay, about 60%, 3/4 who here uses Final Cut. 7, 10, or Pro? Nah, I'm just messing with you. I'll say, okay. How many people use Final Cut in its current incarnation? Okay. How about Media Composer? Oh, okay. Good, you got some purple warriors here. Okay, and Resolve. Okay, I got something for all of you tonight. You'll like this. So Louper can look into all of these applications and play directly from the application. Not doing a screen grab or a screen scrape as we affectionately call it. These can look into the application, take the raw feed, and play that out. And it also works with other apps, like I won't poll everyone here, but folks who are using Flame or Nuke, right, those high-end compositing and effect systems, works with that too. Couple things, because I know I can see some people here who want to raise their hand. I'm just going to tell it to you now. Yes, it handles 4K. Right? Now, do you need 4K? Let's be real here. Not all of you are cutting 4K. Not all of you have screens that can show 4K. Not all of you have clients that are viewing in 4K. And not all of you have decent internet enough to do 4K when you're working wirelessly at home while your partner is doing a video conference and your kids are doing distance learning. Right? So most people are doing HD. So can it do 4K? Yeah, but most people are doing HD. Your clients, your collaborators, they just need a browser or a phone. They don't need to download any apps. It's all in the browser. They don't need any hardware like a lot of high-end systems do. As I'll show you later, it's cheaper than just about anything else. So that's enough tell. Let me show you. So right here is a Louper room. And I'm going to refresh this, and it's going to ask me to log in, and you'll probably be familiar with the window that's going to pop up now, right? And you join Zoom, it says, let me check your settings, right? What's your video camera, what's your mic, hello? I can select that, I can say yes, remember those settings, and I'm going to be entered into a room, right? And it kind of looks like Zoom, doesn't it, right? You've got your icon here of who's talking, right? We've got our audio controls down here. I can tell that I'm in the right room. It's Michael Kammes' room. But we have some other things here that you're probably accustomed to and will help make the transition. How many of you actually raise your hand when you're in a Teams or Zoom chat? Is anyone here? Oh, the rest of you are just asking us. All right. Okay. I like to raise my hand, right? So we can do that, right? There's a little button here that says Michael Kammes has raised his hand. So that's some manners for all of you. We can also do things like bring the audio level up and down. But one of the things that I love about this is how many people here have tried to do video conferencing and something doesn't work and you're like, I don't know what to do. I got to call IT, or screw it, I'm just not going to use it. How many people just run into problems you can't fix, right? When I first met Alex at Louper, I said the one thing that is missing from all the video conferencing solutions is that there is nothing in the current applications that say this is what's wrong. So what Alex's team have built in here, if you look over here, is your connection quality. And it tells you that, yeah, you're connected to the server. Yes, people can view your live stream. Video and audio chat are 4 bars. It's playing all good. Are there any warnings? No. In fact, I can even go up here to the client because I'm not only pushing it out, I'm also viewing it as well. I can also take a look at all the speeds and feeds. So if there's any issues you have, it's right here. So, how many of you have to deal with your parents and your parents not knowing how to use computers, right? Don't you wish you had something like this to say, just mom, just click on that. Just click on that button and tell me what you see. That's what this is, right? So something else we can also do, if I close this, is that we also have chat. So if you prefer not to say anything, I can certainly just say hello, and the chat will record that as well. So all the things you're accustomed to in Zoom, in Teams, that's all in here. But there's one more thing which is very cool, and that's something that that Louper calls, back to my browser, is sync play. What if you could play a file in the browser and let anyone else that's viewing it say, wait, I want to rewind it. Usually you would say, whoa, you'd raise your hand, right? Raise your hand. And you say, wait, can you bring that back 10 frames? By that time, it's already gone 30 or 40 frames, right? What if all of you on the call could watch it? Everyone had control, and if you wanted to, you could hit stop and back it up frame by frame, or back it up 10 frames, and then say, I want to change something here. Let me show you how that works. So I'm going to go back into my Louper room, and instead of a live stream, which I'll show you in a minute, I'm going to instead play a file. And you may recognize this file, right? That's me, right? But what if since I'm also a viewer, what if I said, wait, you know what? I want everyone to be able to control this. Now, everyone who's viewing this has this controlled on here to say, I want to go ahead frame by frame. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom down there. I don't know if you could see that. There we go. So frame by frame, or jump 10 frames ahead. And then I can say, you know what? That's too bright. And now folks that are watching this know exactly what I'm saying, what I want to change on the exact frame. Instead of saying, bring it back 1 frame, 2 frames, I mean 3 frames. I mean, can you just jog shuttle? And because of the delay, you never get to that right frame. Now anyone can control this and go incrementally up. Now let's actually show you how this works in real life. So I'm going to need a few volunteers. All right, I'm going to put a code on the screen, and we're going to try using wireless. Right, there's a wireless network in here. If you want to pull out your phones, I'm going to give you the wireless network. So let's go here. Let me hit slideshow. You can either
City of LA guest.
if you turn on your wireless, there's City of LA guest wireless network. No password. Just accept terms and conditions in your soul. And then go to this link. Now you don't have to jump on wireless. You can do this via your wireless, your 4G or 5G. You can do that. And you can take a picture of this, or you can type it really quick. While everyone is getting into this room, I am going to show some other stuff, so you have some time to work this out. As a consideration for everyone else in the room, if you do join, make sure your volume is down, make sure your mic is muted, just so we don't have feedback, etc. Okay? This is how this magic is done. This application right here. This application is what Louper has put together, and this is a very simple application that runs resident on your system. And in that on the system here, we have a preview window, and I can select any source that is valid on my system. Who here knows what NDI is? Okay, one? Anyone else? Okay. Does everyone here know what an SDI cable is?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Imagine an SDI cable was an Ethernet cable, right? That video signal will travel down the Ethernet cable. That's what NDI is. It's converting a digital video signal into a packet-based network signal, and it allows you to route video over Ethernet like you would a patch panel, right? So bi-directional video. So all the major NLEs support it. So if I were to go into, let's say, Premiere, this is for a Premiere event that was here a couple months ago. If I hit play, see the video's playing. I go to my Louper desktop application, and I select where Premiere is, and then I go to my room, and we select the live stream. You'll see that live stream is now coming in directly to the web page. So if I go into Louper now, you'll see that there's my Premiere, right? It's playing video. You can see that up in the top right. And if I go to my web page, there's the video. If I bring up my Louper panel, you can see there's about a second lag, and that's because of our network. And if I see Joe is there, Stuart, Horst, Kenny, Shane, hey, John, Alex, Robert, all of you are here, right? Are you getting the video?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. There's probably going to be a little bit of delay, usually a half a second. We're using a local server, but this room can support 25 users, the one I'm using now. Do you always need that? No, but the different plans you can get from Louper can do this. But here's the real cool thing. This is Premiere, right? I'm now going to go into Premiere. I'm going to stop in Premiere. I'm now going to go to Final Cut. Where are my Final Cut users? Man, the reaction time's a little bit slow. Don't be afraid, folks. Right? You're watching the video. All right, so there's Final Cut. I'm now going to go back to my Louper, and I'm going to, there's Final Cut. I go back to my web page, and there's Final Cut. So I've now Final Cut routed directly into this. Where are my Resolve people? All right, there's Resolve. Okay, let's now stop Final Cut. Let's now go to Resolve. And here's Resolve. Now remember earlier I told you Blackmagic does some amazing things, but they also do some things which are not amazing. One of the things they do that's not amazing is that NDI, the digital transmission of video over a network using the NDI protocol, Resolve doesn't support it. Don't know why. We've clamored for it for years. Blackmagic knows it's got to be something political. We don't know why. But for $50, you can buy an application called Node Display, which will hijack the video directly from Resolve. It's actually a node in Resolve. And if I hit play in Resolve now, and then I go to right, it's dark, right, and then go to my web page, and I'm now streaming directly out of Resolve. Right? And lastly, where are my composer people, media composer people? All right? Is anyone on 2018? Has everyone finally moved to 2022? Yeah? Yeah, now they have the classic? Okay. Sorry, I just like pushing that button. Okay, so I'm going to go to Media Composer right now. Right? Here's Media Composer. All right? So I'm going to hit play on Media Composer. I'm now going to bounce back again here. And we'll find our media. There's Media Composer. So I've just been able to play all 4 major NLEs, route them with a couple mouse clicks to a web page. All of you in the room can see it. All of you here can see it. And if any of you wanted to, you could annotate and make notes on this and type in chat. Pretty cool? Okay, it's stupid simple. That's what I absolutely love about it. So let's now move on a little bit, because the questions, I'm sure, if I just said any questions, I'm sure all of you would ask the questions that I'm about to show you right now, which is, what kind of access do I have in the background? What can I do to make sure the right people see it and the wrong people don't, etc.? Well, this is what you're looking at right now is the back end, the administrative space for Louper. And I can click share just like you do in Zoom, right, to copy the invitation. I can invite team members, and when I invite team members, I can give them different permissions, right? Maybe I don't want them to delete stuff. Maybe I just want them to read things. Maybe they're a collaborator, which means I don't trust you 100%. Then that's a very limited client. They can only do certain things. But often, folks will ask, well, what else can I do? And that's when we get into room settings. And that's where I can set things like video chat. Maybe you have people on your team that don't want video chat. How many people have been in Zoom calls where it's their avatar, right? Or my camera's broken, right? So I get it. Maybe you don't want that. Okay, cool. I can turn that off. I can turn off voice chat. I can also do things like turn off text chat. Maybe I don't want people to rely on text chats. What kind of access do I want to grant to the room? Do I want anyone, with a link to be able to view it, like all of you? Or do I want to make it private? Do I want to have a waiting room so I can see who's in and then decide if I want to wave my wand and let them in? I can do that. Those of you who are stream geeks, normally Louper uses RTMP, but if you're an SRT junkie, you can do that. And if you don't know what those acronyms are, don't worry. It defaults to the right one. Another thing we get asked about quite a bit is security, right? Can I watermark? So we have 2 different ways of watermarking. I can turn on what we call client-side watermark and hit Save Changes. And then you'll have to exit the room and come back in to see this. So I'm just going to refresh this. But what you'll see on the screen is data that's being burned in on the client side with my email, with my name, email address, IP address, that I'm a registered user, as well as some identifying metadata down here, right? But what I can also do is go back into LBS or LDE, and I can also just put an image on there. So now when I go to the web page, you can see that I have the burn in there, right? And that way, any video signal they get is always going to have that burn in there. Next, what I want to show you is how does this work? Because, and Michael, I'm sorry, but if I'm going to be here, I'm going to talk tech, right? So there's going to be some acronyms here, and it might help to kind of see how that works, right? This is how it works. It's NDI, Network Display Interface. And as I said, that converts that video signal to a direct signal out of your creative editing application. Here's a more simplified version, right? You got Media Composer, Final Cut, Premiere, Resolve, and many more, all going to NDI, which the LDE application understands, and it pumps it to that room. That also means if you want to do things like share your screen, you can do that too, right? So the basic screen sharing stuff is built in, but you also have this high quality video as well. Right. So something else I get asked, why not use Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, TeamViewer, Jump, Parsec, HP Anywhere, or Splashtop? Did I miss any?
Discord, StreamYard.
StreamYard, okay. Hangouts, okay. They suck. And here's why. Here's why. I actually took this picture back in 2008. Does anyone know what ARTC is? No? Okay, then we don't need to go into it. But this was actually, this guy worked for Apple. I thought this exemplified why the tools I showed here are so bad. Because most video conferencing apps are simply grabbing the screen. It's what I called earlier a screen scrape, right? When you're dealing with Zoom and Teams and all these other applications, there's little or no color management, right? You can't really change your frame rate, right? I think in Parsec and a couple of applications, you can kind of tweak that, but you don't have any color management in that respect. Resolution control isn't always present, right? Like if you're using Zoom, that's going to be 720p. Your frames per second, that's usually going to be 5 or so, unless you tell it it's video, then it'll try to do 20 or 25. And if you're spending all this time creating good-looking proxies and trying to convey your best edit and your best cut, and someone's viewing it at half frame rate and at 720, I mean, it's like working on a masterpiece and then giving someone a QuickTime that's 320 by 240. You know, like how do you enjoy that? These conferencing apps are meant for talking heads, as I mentioned, the 2080 rule, and for computer interfaces. It's for tech support, right? That's what TeamViewer is for, right? It's not meant for video. It's really bad. Just don't do it. So the last thing is that this is built for you. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of other tools out there that stream video, right? Sven, you were talking earlier. I caught you. Got you looking at your phone. Clearview Flex SohoNet, right? Expensive, needs hardware. People who here has used Evercast. Okay, do you have any idea how expensive that is? Okay, and did you know the same tech that Evercast uses, Louper uses? Oh, dirty secret. It's OBS, right? That's in the background. But Evercast is $600 or $800 per room, if I'm not mistaken, per user. Is that about right? Right? So I'm not making that up. It was built for that middle tier, right? That middle and enterprise tier. It wasn't meant for John working on an independent project, right? It's not what it was meant for, because you're not going to pay $800 a month for that. That's ridiculous. This is built for everybody. It's meant for freelancers. It's meant for small companies, media companies, and it does scale up to enterprise. There are studios using it, but it's especially for you. And that's when we look at pricing. There's a free plan, which gives you 15 minutes. I know that's not great, but there's also this, which I think everyone here would probably use, which is the Plus plan, which is $39 a month. And that gets you 2 hours, right? So instead of paying $800 a month, you're now paying $40 a month, right? And there's different plans here, a Pro and Team, that adds more users, more rooms, more concurrency. I'm not gonna, we call this the cell phone eye chart, right? Where you do the feature comparison. Not gonna bore you with that. But what I am gonna do for you is that we have a Louper is giving everyone a free month of Plus. So that $39 a month, everyone take a picture. Everyone in attendance, I will make sure that this code is dead by the time this comes up on the YouTube page, because this is only for people who made the trek out here to network, okay? So tell me what this is going to go so I can make sure that the code doesn't work.
Where's it going to go?
When this goes on YouTube, let me know.
I have no idea.
Okay. Okay.
About a week.
Okay, so everyone here gets a free month of Plus, which, as I showed you, gets you 1 room, 5 concurrent participants, 2 hours, and if it runs out, sure, a new room. You can do as many rooms or as many 2-hour sessions back to back to back. And you can do 4K, and you can sync videos, and you can do all of this for that $40 a month. What did I miss?
You got 10 minutes?
I have 10 minutes. Great. Great. Who wants to talk about codecs? Yes.
When you were doing the Louper thing, when people are watching, can they just write notes and then it's already saved, and then like the editor can just go back and read those notes that where they're seeing out frames back from it, you know, where they're...
A bonus points for saying frame athlete. Sorry, wanted to catch myself. Sorry about that.
He's going to play next week. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Currently, there isn't a way to download those because normally that stuff ends up being on demand. Like when you go to like Frame.io and put the stuff in, you download those as markers or whatnot. So currently, there isn't a way to download those. So it's something that would be you'd have to be making a note in real time as you're communicating back and forth.
But they can see it.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. If I go into the chat, in fact, did anyone type? Did anyone want to chat right now? Anyone type anything? All of you were trolls. You're just lurkers. Thank you for saying anything, David. I appreciate it. So, yes. Okay. Over there.
Yeah, thanks for walking us through, Michael.
Oh, look at you. Hey. High-powered startup over here. Yes, sir.
On one of your slides, the NDI slide that showed a region of interest in the output of Louper with the red belt.
Yes.
It looked as if it had been changed to aspect ratios if you control your up to interest.
Yes. Region of interest or ROI, if I go into my LDE, I can change what part of the screen I am then sending out as part of the screen. So a lot of folks may have like a 5K screen, and they may have a PDF open, and maybe they have music playing in the background, but they only want to share one part of their screen. So you could do this with region of interest. If your region of interest is a different resolution than what you are streaming, then there'll be black boxes. But I can go, I can't do it now because I'm streaming, but if I go into my settings, I can change what resolution I'm streaming, whether it be 1280 or 3040 by 2160. I can go in there and change that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, nice little feature.
You're welcome. Yes.
But so everything you're showing is showing like basically what's on your computer monitor. But can you access the direct video out? Like for example, I use Resolve, but maybe I'm outputting 4K or HD. Can they see that stream directly?
Let me make sure I'm explaining this correctly. This is the output. What you're seeing here is the program output from Premiere. It is the composer window output.
On here, I see your whole editing screen. Is that not on the other end? See,
that's the video. I'm sorry. That's the video. Let me go back to Media Composer. This is, see up there? That's just the video I'm playing. It's a screen recording of the.
Screen recording.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. This is syndicated, and I don't want to put like there's if there's any other tech people in here, who here knows Big Buck Bunny? Yeah, okay. It's a free piece of demo footage everyone uses, but it's animation. That's bullshit. I don't want to go and get some Creative Commons video that does 30 frames. So I just took a video from Evan's website. So what you are seeing is the output.
Then I have one other question.
Sure.
Is there a way you can display time code so that people on the other end can see their times code?
The time code, remember that time code is only applicable to the video, not the stream, right? Let's say I start a stream at noon, but I don't start the video until 10 minutes in. The time code in the room would be different than the time code of the video that I start to
I'm saying if you're working on a nonlinear editor, you have time code for your timeline.
Yes. Yeah.
You just have to put in a screen burn in.
Well, no, you could do a time code burn and drop it as an effect on there, and then it will output that.
You have to do it in the nonlinear editor.
Correct. Yeah. Not all NLEs output time code via NDI, and so putting an effect on there is the way to get around it. Yes.
If you were doing something like, for example, Premiere Pro's multi-editing, right? if you start a stream where I feel like they showed a little icon where you got the crown, like where you're the one streaming, is there any feature where you could passively, or possibly pass the editing control to David, and then David is the one who's streaming from their bit?
50-50, and let me explain that. You could have different live streams. So Bill is setting a stream, and Sarah is setting a stream, and then you can toggle back and forth between them. But Sarah can't control Bill's stream, and Bill can't control Sarah's stream. Now, if you upload a file like I showed, and you put sync play on, then everyone can control it. But this isn't a team viewer replacement, right? Where you say, give me control of your computer and I'll run it. It's definitely not a replacement for that.
Got it.
So the only way that multiple people could control it is if they had previously downloaded it and are sync filing it?
The file is uploaded directly to Louper. So if I go to my file spaces here,
Upload it onto there.
yeah, I've already uploaded media. And then in my room, I can go into my, Go into my files, and there are those files to play.
And then play it sync. But now, with those sizings that you show, do you get a certain amount of storage or something that you can upload files with?
As of right now, storage, I don't believe storage is taxed. Right, so whether you have, now, I think what a lot of cloud providers have done are say, look, we're all acting in our best interest here, right? We're giving you something, you're going to take something, don't abuse it, right? So right now there isn't, if I look at pricing, I don't believe there's anything here that says 1 terabyte, 5 terabytes. You know, it's kind of, we trust you not to upload, petabyte of ProRes stuff.
Thanks.
Question?
Yes.
Hi. So when you, I guess on the client side, can you watermark their name, a specific viewer of each? Like, you got 3 people on 3 different.
Not for $39 a month. Yeah, the question was, can you watermark someone's individual name? No. Although I see Marcus here, and Marcus happens to work for a company that sells a product that does forensic watermarking, and you sell those in bundles of how many minutes? 100,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thousands.
So that's rather expensive to do something like that. So Louper does not do that. Louper, you can have this metadata, right, email address and whatnot, but that is client-side inserted. So if you were to bring this up on your system and watch it, it's going to bring up your name and your email address, but it's being inserted at the viewer on your computer. Which, if someone wanted to get really nitty-gritty and try to reverse engineer this and get it before it hits that, okay, then that's when you go to LDE and you just put an image watermark on here. But to the original question, there is not currently a way to put someone's individual name on the server side.
Okay, absolutely.
In fact,
Does something work like with an Elgato Stream Deck XL at all?
well, what do you want the Elgato to do? Do you want it to trigger macros?
Essentially, yes.
Yeah, I would assume so. I haven't tried it. Now, to be fair, I use a loop deck, right? Because it's got that cool little jog we didn't center. But I have tried with a Steam Deck, but the Stream Deck actually is much more widely supported than loop deck. So I would imagine you'd be able to build in some macros, but I have not tested it. Oh, that brings up one other thing. If I go to Louper here, let's go to Louper support, because this is probably one of the most intense guides I've ever read. On the left-hand side here, zoomed out. Yeah, there's setup guides for every single application that you use, right? Step-by-step instructions and video walkthroughs, right? And so there's also using third-party encoders, etc. Those of you who are using Apple TV, iPad, or iPhone, you can certainly use what they call Stream Connect, which allows you to pump a live stream, pump a video file for on-demand viewing. It doesn't have all the review and approve options, but if you have a client that says, I must use Apple TV, this is one way to use it.
So, just to verify, like all the other applications, you need to have Zoom. I need to have Zoom on my computer to see a Zoom call. This one is just all web-based.
So web-based, yeah.
Yeah, so
Nothing to download, nothing to install. Don't have to worry about Apple saying, well, do you have permission? No, we don't have to worry about that. It's just a web page. In fact, everyone here, you were able to run it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
So you just send somebody a link.
Yeah.
Last question.
Yeah. Any more questions? Yes, sir.
How about 5.1 or Atmos and HDR?
Good question. No. If you want 5.1, you'd be moving to a SohoNet Clearview Flex, right? We're talking $1,000 a month. Evercast, I think, may do it. If we're talking about HDR, they're working on it. Right now, it's 420 8-bit 4K. And I know there's a lot of colors in the room right now. They're like, well, I can't possibly grade that. Okay. I invite you to go to Louper's website, and there's Joey Diana, right? As well as Robbie Carmen, right? Who are well-experienced colorists who use this daily. So it all depends on what your definition of a color managed workflow is, and of course, what your budget handles. Thank you very much.
Please thank Michael Kammes. We have